Hello and welcome to my first how-to video. I recently bought a DJI Mini 2 SE and took a couple of 360-degree images, which worked out well, but found I could only view the images that were created on the app. The 360 images were not stored on the SD card. All that was there was the original 26 images, each one of which was about the same size as the full image when exporting directly from the app, so I knew there was a lot of image loss. Exporting the image from the app to the PC results in a low quality version. This how-to guide is to create a high quality version of a 360 image and is for the DJI Mini 2 SE. Other models in the DJI range, or even other drones, this may not be necessary or work in the same way. Here's what the final image will look like. What you will need? Well, you'll need a drone. In this case, I'm using a DJI Mini SE2. You may be able to follow along with other drones, but this is aimed specifically at that drone. A laptop or PC. Here I'm using Windows 11 in order to access the original images and process them. The Image Composite Editor. This is free software by Microsoft created a few years ago. I'm not able to find any other software which is as flexible at stitching images together. Photoshop to increase the size of the image, or a free alternative. You'll also need access to skypixel or something equivalent. This is to view the final image on the PC as a 360-degree image. And finally, you'll need an idea and a location for a good image. After you've travelled to your location, first thing we're going to do is take off after completing all the pre-flight checks. Then get the drone into position for recording the image. Here you can see I've ascended to 30 meters, which seems a suitable height for this image. Then click the film reel icon, select the bottom icon for wide images, and finally sphere. Now click record on the right hand side. The drone will now start automatically taking a series of images, staying on the same spot but moving anti-clockwise each time it records an image until the full rotation is complete. This takes around 30 seconds. Recording the 360 image on the drone is now complete. Back on the ground and with the SD card plugged into a PC or laptop, navigate to the folder where the images are recorded to check and review them. They should be saved in a folder called DCIM and a subfolder called Panoramas, with a folder for each wide image recorded. For a 360 image, there should be 26 individual images in one folder. Open up the Image Composite Editor. Select New Panorama on the top left. In the dialog box, navigate to the same folder as checked in the previous step and highlight all the images. Do this by clicking on the first image, hold Shift and then selecting the last one. This will highlight all the images. Then click Open. Click Next in the top right corner of the screen without making any other changes. A progress bar will appear. It may take a minute or two for this step to complete. A preview of the 360 image will then appear. Ensure that spherical image is selected. No other settings need to be changed. Click Next in the top right hand corner. On the next screen, click Autocomplete. The software will then fill in the blanks where no image exists, so you can minimize the amount of the image that needs cropping. No other settings need changing. Again, click Next in the top right corner. Now on the last screen, the only step needed here is to save the image. I would suggest changing the image quality to 100 and then export to disk. Then select a suitable location and name for the new image. Note here that the size of the new image is approximately 34 megabytes, whereas the image created via the app is only a couple of megabytes. This shows the difference in quality between the two methods. The 360 image has now been created. But in order to be able to view it correctly as a 360 image in skypixel, it needs to be a ratio of 2:1. That means the width needs to be exactly twice the size of the height. The image created here is 9728 by 3746. This is not the correct ratio. To fix this, we need to add more height to the image. That's not to stretch the image, but to add more content. For simplicity, I'm adding a white bar to the top and bottom of the image using Photoshop. Photoshop can do a lot more sophisticated blending, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. If you don't have Photoshop, you can use the free alternatives which are listed in the description below. Adding white bars rather than blending doesn't really impact the final image, as you'll only see that when you're looking directly up or down. With the image opened in Photoshop, go to the image menu, then select canvas size. Change the units from centimeters to pixels. It will now show the image dimensions in pixels. Change the height of the image to half of the width. So half of 9728 is 4864. Enter this in the height box and leave all other settings the same. This will now create white bars at the top and bottom of the image. If you want to make any other adjustments, do that now, such as saturation. If you're happy with the image, save this as a new image. Keep the image quality at the maximum. Now for the final step. Assuming you've already got access to skypixel, which is set up when you register your DJI drone, open up a web browser, navigate to skypixel.com and log into your account. Top right corner, click Upload, then 360 Pano. Click Choose 360, navigate to the image that you saved earlier in Photoshop, and then select. The image will then upload from your device. You'll need to select a device name under the equipment field. This is required. All the other fields are optional. Scroll to the bottom and click Publish. After uploading is complete, processing will continue. This often takes around 30 minutes. Here is what the final image looks like. Hope you found that useful. Write any questions in the comments below. I'm happy droning.